Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you seriously watching the Have You Heard podcast by yourself? On YouTube, nonetheless? Whoa. That's kinda cringe, don't you think, Nathan?
Mhm.
Don't you know that the Have You Heard podcast is also available anywhere else you can get your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts? Also, when you do this, you actually support us as creators. Because right now, you're just stealing all our money like a bunch of
Yep.
dirty little sleazebags. So please, consider supporting us by listening on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, uh, Pocket Casts.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna sit here until you do it. Welcome back, everybody, to the Have You Heard podcast, the only music podcast where we talk about the music that we've all listened to. I'm Pablo.
I'm Nathan.
And guys, we got a real special episode for you guys today. Nathan, have you heard Kauai by Childish Gambino?
Yes, I have.
All right, perfect. First, we're going to go to a little bit of history. Childish Gambino is a guy.
Nice.
Previously, yeah. His real name is Donald Glover. He was previously an actor before going into music. This album was released in 2014, 1 year after his album Because the Internet, which was critically acclaimed, and also
hmm
2 years or 2 or 3 years after his first debut album, Camp, which was okay. I think I don't know how it was perceived. I don't love it, but anyway, Kauai was also part of a bigger project that was a mixtape and EP like in one thing. It was called Stone Mountain slash Kauai. Stone Mountain was a mixtape. It's not on Spotify. I would love to look at it one day, but for now we just are looking at Kauai. Can I also just say we timed this very perfectly, like accidentally. This is a very summery, beachy album, and
Oh yeah.
when we're recording this, the weather is really starting to pick up where we're living. So yeah, let's uh let's start this off. Let me pull up my notes. Um, yeah, the album is 7 songs long, a bit under 30 minutes. Um, and let's just start off with track number one, "Sober." Instantly great summer bop. It just sets the mood for
Oh
the
yeah.
entire album. Um, and yeah, it has just amazing vocals and the guitar solo, not really a solo, but just the guitar they have scattered around it is just great. What do you think about it?
Yeah, towards the end of the song, I would totally um agree with like the whole thing being like summer vibes and all that. I
Mm-hmm.
get that completely. Towards the end though, it gets to like this beat drop where it kind of goes to like more,
Mm-hmm.
well, I wouldn't say retro synth. It's a beat switch. Kind of goes from like upbeat to like mellow, chill vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Best way I can put it. And that's like the last minute of the song, and that's like sick.
Yeah.
And then it like picks it in like the last 20 seconds. It goes into like a finale. Like it like picks itself back up. I think with like a more
Yeah, it goes back to
guitar
the original.
solo.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Yeah.
Anyway, I guess there's also a bit of a story to this album that I'll touch on right quickly. Um, Basically, Stone Mountain slash Kauai. Stone Mountain was apparently about Gambino's life, living in Atlanta all his life. Um, and then I guess at the end of the album, he like falls asleep, and when he wakes up, he's in Kauai, which is a town or city in Hawaii. And it's just supposed to sound like you're on Hawaii. Welcome to Hawaii. Anyway, next up we got Pop Thieves parentheses Make It Feel Good, and oh,
hmm
who's that feature? Wait a minute,
Wait a minute
is
here.
that even they got Jaden Smith on this? Ain't no way.
Fanboy alert.
Oh my goodness. And oh yeah, Jaden's on this. This was 2014, so I believe CTV2 would have been coming out this year, or maybe it had already come out. He plays the role of the boy. which is a character commonly seen in Gambino's albums Camp and Because the Internet. Let's talk about the song first because Jaden's part doesn't come in at the end until the end. Pop Thieves keeps up this the greatness already of this project with a very catchy beat and a chorus that just makes you like want to dance, you know? Like it's just so catchy.
Yeah.
Also that part where he says, I think he says, "These haters can't say shit." And then the next line, or like 2 lines from now, he says, "I know you miss this, duh." And then it cuts off and he says, "Love." I think that's so funny because he's gonna say dick. I just think that's funny. Tyler also does something like that on Igor, but I just love when just like misdirection is used. It just gets me every time. But yeah, what do you think of it?
I think I'm on your side where it says it kind of just picks it up more.
Mm-hmm.
Or not picks it up more, but it just keeps the same summer vibes. I would say Pop Thieves makes the most out of this like Miami like summer beach beat. I feel like it sounds like it's, in my opinion, it sounds like the most like uplifting pop song out of the whole album. Like this with like Sober with like other songs that like bring up this like summer vibe that like just makes you want to just like drive in a car like on the beach or something. This song would totally like establish that entire feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
Within the one song. And then Jaden's part slips in perfectly, I'd say.
My boy Jaden comes
towards
in.
the end.
Hell yeah. He's just talking. I mean, you know, he's kind of being Jaden Smith. You know, he's just kind of like he's kind of talking all slow and like mysterious.
He's just talking,
and he's just like
with this like bongo beat in the back.
Me and you and our friends, we got a tent, and then we slept in it.
And then there's bongos like boom, 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 boom.
Not for the whole night, but just enough time. Magic happened. Nothing was born, luckily. It's so cheesy, but I love it because I love Jaden. Anyway, no homo. Next up we got retro bracket rough. I'm trying to think of how this one goes. Oh yeah, okay.
This one for me was like it was It kind of gives us summer vibes, but it's just I don't like the beat on this one. It's a little bit different than the first two.
This one seems a lot more rap based.
Yeah.
I do like the chorus. "We can go together, doesn't really matter." It's really
right,
really catchy.
That's where I get the like summer vibes from. But then like that like all like the rapping with the beat doesn't fit well.
The lyrics definitely have more substance to them. Like he's definitely rapping about something instead of just kind of, you know, generic pop stuff. But yeah, it's very different. It's definitely more rap than summer pop. So yeah, next up we got the Palisades, also with a feature, Christian Rich. Does that name sound familiar to you at all,
Oh, no.
Nathan?
Oh, that is.
You don't know who that is? Okay. Christian Rich. He's not like a rapper. He's not a feature, I don't think. He's actually a producer. And you know, he produced a Jaden track, or at least one Jaden track that he's featured on.
Whoa.
He's featured, or he's on Ghost. Have you heard that one? It's a single.
I don't think so.
It came out after Sire, but before Iris. It's pretty good. You should check it out. Oh, and then there's Ghost Remix, which was on Iris Deluxe. You know that one? With A$AP Rocky?
I've heard of it, not listened to the whole thing.
All right. Anyway, this one's good. How does this one go? Oh yeah, okay, I can think of it. Yeah, this one's not as catchy or lyrically there, but still had a very fun beat with some great vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of repetitive at times. But yeah, I think it was enjoyable. I'm looking at the Spotify plays right now. I am really surprised by the Palisades, the one we just talked about, has
Mm-hmm.
35 million plays.
Whoa.
The next song immediately jumps down to 18 million. That's really strange to me. I don't think Poke is like even a bad song. I actually really like Poke. You know?
Folks just mediocre, you know. It wasn't like a waste of my time listen, but it was definitely just like a listen. I was like, oh, okay,
I honestly
fits
really like
well,
this
but
one.
not like a standout.
I honestly really like this one. I thought Gambino's chorus was really great. Um, the feature, his cousin, I believe, also I think did a really great job. Yeah, I'm surprised that a lot of people don't like this one as much. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I'm kind of surprised. Then there's the this one. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. Um, the last or not the last song. I want to say it's the last song, and I'll get into that when we get to the actual last song. Late Night in Kauai, also featuring Jaden, and also
Mm-hmm.
unlistedly featuring an outerlude from Fam, who is a friend of Childish Gambino. Um, Jaden starts off the the song with his interlude.
Again with the bongos.
Yeah, with the bongo, the boom, the boom, great
Yep.
stuff. Jaden's kind of spewing some more cheesy nonsense, you know how it goes. And then Gambino comes on. He kind of has a pretty boring rap verse. And then Fam comes on, and he just also kind of spits some uh fake woke shit, where he's like,
To me, it's not. Yeah, it's not a song if it's just like generally speaking with like a
it's mostly
bongo
just
in the
a
back.
lot of talking. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a song.
And
That's
he's
why I
like,
don't like it.
yeah, he's like, as a futurist? And it's like, I don't even know what the hell a futurist is, you know?
Mm-mm.
Anyway, then we have Roman numeral 5, 3005 Beach Picnic version. Do you know the song 3005 by Childish Gambino?
I know that. Yeah, I know that he has a song that's 3005.
Yeah. Okay. So this
I know
one,
that he does.
I don't really consider this part of the album. I think he just kind of let me explain why I think that. Okay. So basically, with his release of Because the Internet, he released a screenplay that would go along with the album. So like as you read it, you listen to the album, and it's like a soundtrack for it basically. And at one point, it just says
Oh,
um, play, like it would say like play Sweatpants, play 3005. After it says play 3005, there's another part that just says play secret bonus track. And there's no secret bonus track on the album. And basically, after this album came out and people were like, "Oh, 3005 Beach Picnic version, that's interesting." But they're like, "Oh, but it's just an instrumental. There's vocals, but it's like just the background vocals. There's no actual rap verse or anything." And it turns out in the source code for the website he used to hand out the screenplay, there was an audio file of the vocals. So when you put them together, they make the secret bonus track 3005 Beach Picnic version. So I don't consider this like a part of the album. Really, that's more of a Because the Internet thing than it is a Kauai thing, you know? That's why I'm kind of torn with this because it's only an instrumental. Like
mm,
it's barely even a full song. It's half a
yeah.
song. But I can't shit on it because there's nothing inherently bad with it. It's just, you know, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah. I kind of
I
feel like
was
I
gonna
should
say,
have. Sorry, you go.
okay, I was just gonna say, like, someone that hasn't like known all that stuff and like hasn't listened to like the actual 3005. I think this was just like a mellow thing, but I definitely agree. There wasn't like much lyrics. It was kind of just instrumental,
Hmm. Yeah.
which could still be a song, but yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna tell you to listen to the full version, but I was like, that's not really a Kawaii thing. It's more of a Because the Internet screenplay thing. So I was like, I think
Yeah,
it's kind of unfair for me to tell you to listen to it. It is good. I've heard it. It's pretty enjoyable. Um, but yeah, it's kind of I hate to dock this album marked because there's a song on here that doesn't really belong here. But yeah. That being said, it has more listens than Late Night in Kauai, which kind of surprises me.
Doesn't surprise me. Late night Kauai is just talking. I would rather listen to just like an instrumental
Yeah,
than
but it's
talking because that's what like
Jaden talking.
beats are.
Nathan, they were
Okay.
looking up at the stars, and the blanket they were on had stars on it. So really, it just looked like they were floating in a void. And Jaden is a star. Bro,
Stop talking.
you're 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 freaking blue pilled, bro. You're so
So
not phased.
that's the seventh song.
That's it. Yeah, it's the end. Anyway, overall, I really do like this. It's a great summary album. Um, and yeah. You want to get? I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna do worst 3 tracks. There's really nothing on here that I'm like, this is bad. You know?
Yeah, if I were just to give like a bad one, it would be Late Night in Kauai, but I wouldn't even consider that to be any sort of song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
It's
think
just like an
so.
interlude.
So yeah,
Anyway. All right. Best 3 songs. This is gonna be a bit tricky, I think. Um. I think. I don't think there's any mainstream songs. I should say that off the bat. I think "Sober" might have to be number 1. Yeah. Yeah, "Sober's" number 1. I think "Pop Thieves" is gonna be 2nd, and then "Poker" is Palisades. I think I'm gonna say "Poke." I think I'm gonna say "Poke." So "Sober" number 1, "Pop Thieves" number 2, "Poke" number 3. I gotta write this down actually. Hold on. "Sober." Oh shoot, I'm biffing it. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay, so then "Sober," "Pop," son of a bitch. "Pop Thieves." I don't know how to spell thieves. Okay. What are your top 3?
I would have said that this album just gives me like my top 3 in order by making it Sober first, Pop These second, and then Retro
Mm-hmm.
third. But I'm not going to put Retro third. I would put the Palisades at third.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sober. I'm going to keep your what you said with 1 and 2. Sober number 1, Pop These number 2, but then not Poke. I would say Palisades is my number 3.
All right. And also we have to do our song for HYH radio playlist. So what would you say? I
Well,
think
I'd say
Sober, right?
that's between Pop Thieves or Sober. But yeah, since we both put number 1 Sober, we'll do Sober.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well then, yeah. Overall thoughts. Oh, I guess we got to give this a rating. We didn't do that. Easy. 8 out of 10. I think that's pretty fair.
I give it a 7.5.
Yeah. There's nothing
Didn't
inherently.
waste my time, but nothing in here that I would like
Skip.
focus on listening to more than once. Yeah. And skip.
Yeah. There's nothing inherently bad with it. There's nothing inherently outstanding with it, but it kept my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple times. Like honestly, I was literally just like, I mean, maybe it's just because I knew I had to review it, but like after I wrote my notes, after I'd listened to it, I don't know, 5 times already, I was like, man, this weather's just making me want to listen to Hawaii. And I just put it on and lie down. It's just great. Anyway, I believe that's going to be it for this week's episode of the Have You Heard podcast. Tune in next week for a hot coffee enema tutorial. I'm Pablo.
I'm Nathan. What the fuck?
And we'll see you guys next week.